Martin Galba, and I'm the artistic director of 2 one-way tickets to Broadway productions. It is so amazing to see so many amazing people, not only on stage, in front of me in the semi-orchestra pit, but as well as in the audience here at McDougall United Church tonight. I thank you all for being here. I know there's tons of other stuff that you could be doing, watching TV or, I don't know, walking the dogs. But being here and coming to see us, that means a lot to us. The Mikado celebrates 130 years. I'm not sure if you were aware of that. The operetta first opened on March 14th, 1885. So we are very privileged to be able to not only celebrate that big anniversary, but celebrate it here at McDougall with this amazing cast of singers and musicians. Before we move on, or before we get started, I would like to just do a couple house rules in case of emergencies. Go out the door you came in. Don't go out those doors because you get lost. Downstairs is just a maze. You won't find your way. Go out those doors. I would like to thank our board members, without whom and their dedication we couldn't do what we do. The Alberta Foundation for the Arts, Edmonton Arts Council, RMRF, the McDougall United Church, Paul Kane High School, Esme School in St. Albert, our wonderful musicians led by Darryl Price, the singers, and I would like to publicly apologize and thank in advance the Edmonton Opera for allowing me to borrow a bunch of chorus members to be part of tonight's show, so thank you for that. And with all that, oh yes, don't forget to go check out Lucia, which opens in a couple of weeks. They start rehearsals tomorrow, I understand. So with all that, let us start the Mikado, or the town of Titu. gentlemen, I pray you tell me where a gentle maiden dwelleth named Yum Yum, the ward of Coco. In pity speak, oh speak, I pray you.
Why, who are you who ask this question?
Come, gather round me, and I'll tell you. A wand'ring minstrel I, a thing of shreds and patches, of ballad songs and snatches, and dreamy lullaby. My catalogue is long, through every passion ranging, and to your humors changing, I tune my supple song. I tune my supple song. Are you in sentimental mood? I'll sigh with you. Oh, sorrow. On maiden's coldness do you brood? I'll do so too. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. I'll charm your willing ears with songs of lovers' fears, with sympathetic fears my cheeks bedew. Oh, sorrow, sorrow. But if patriotic sentiment is wanted, I've patriotic ballads skipped and tried. For wherever country banners may be planted, all other local banners are defied. Our warriors in serried ranks assemble, never quail or they conceal it if they do. And they shouldn't be surprised if nations tremble before the mighty troops, the troops of P.T. And if you call for the song of the seas, we'll heave the capstan round. With the yo-heave-ho when the wind is free, our anchors are trips and our hands are lead, or out for the homeward bound. To lay aloft in a howling breeze may tickle our landsman's taste. The happiest hour a sailor sees is when he's down at an inland town, with his Nancy on his knees. Yo-ho! And his arm around her waist. The banner comes in offering gold, and sings us round. And the yo-heave-ho and the round we love, hurrah for the homeward bound. grew bad. It was my duty to take the cup round for contributions. While discharging this delicate office, I saw Yum, and I saw that my suit was hopeless. Overwhelmed with despair, I quitted the town. Judge of my delight when I heard a month ago that Coco had been condemned to death for flirting. I hurried back at once, in the hope to find Yum at liberty to listen to my protestations.
It is true that Coco was condemned to death for flirting, but he was reprieved at the last moment and raised to the exalted rank of Lord High Executioner, under the following remarkable circumstances. A great Mikado, virtuous man, when he to rule our land began, resolved to try a plan whereby the men might best be steadied. So he decreed in words succinct that all who flirted, leered or winked, unless canoe be wholly linked, would both with me beheaded, 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 would both with me beheaded. And I expect you'll all agree that he was right to so decree, and I'm right, and you are right, and all is right as right can be. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right as right can be. And all is right as right can be. Right as right can be. This stern decree you'll understand caused great dismay throughout the land, for young and old and shy and bold were equally affected. The youth who wink a roving eye, oblique the non-connubial side, was thereupon condemned to die. He usually objected, he usually objected. And you'll allow as I assume that he was right to so object, and I'm right, and you are right, and everything is quite correct. And you are right, and we are right, and everything is quite correct. All is And so we straight led out on bail a convict from the county jail, whose head was next on some pretext condemned to be mown off, and made him headsman, for we said, who's next to be decapitated, cannot cut off another's head until he's cut his own off, his own off, his own off, until he's cut his own off. And we are right, I think you'll say, to argue in this kind of way. And I'm right, and you are right, and all is right, and you are there. And you are right, and we are right, and all is right, and you are there. And I'm right, and we are right, and all is right.
Chief Tailor, the Lord High Executioner of Titipu. Why, that's the highest rank a citizen can attain.
Oh, it is. Our logical Mikado, seeing no moral difference between the dignified judge who condemns the criminal to die and the industrious mechanics who carry out the sentence, has rolled the two offices into one. And every judge is now his own executioner.
Oh, but how good of you, for I see that you are a nobleman of the highest rank, to condescend to tell this to me, a mere strolling minstrel.
Don't mention it. I am, in point of fact, a particularly haughty and exclusive person of pre-Adamite ancestral descent. You will understand that when I tell you that I can trace my ancestry back to a protoplasmal, primordial, atomic globule. Consequently, My family pride is something inconceivable. I can't help it. I was born sneering. But I struggle hard to overcome this defect. I mortify my pride continually when all great offices of state reside in a body because they were too proud to serve under an ex-tailor. Did I not hesitatingly accept all their posts at once?
And the salaries attached to them.
Oh,
you did.
It is consequently my degrading duty to serve this upstate as First Lord of the Treasury, Lord Chief Justice, Commander-in-Chief, Lord High Admiral, Master of the Buckhounds, Groom of the Blackstairs, Archbishop of Titty-Poo, and Lord Mayor, both acting and elect, all rolled into one, and at his salary, a poobah paid for his services. I, a salaried minion. But I do it. It revolts me. But I do it.
And it does you credit.
Oh, but I don't stop at that. I go and dine with middle-class people for reasonable rates. I dance at cheap suburban parties for a moderate fee. I accept refreshments at any hand, how low. I also retail state secrets at a very low figure. For instance, any further information about Yum Yum would come under the head of state secret. Another insult, and I think a light one. Young and despair likewise go to Yum Yum the fair. You must not rue, it will not do. I'm sorry for you, you very imperfect ablutioner. This very day from school, Yum Yum will wend her way and homeward come with deeds of fun and a round to wed the Lord by execution. The trumpets play and the cards are dancing on their wedding day. She'll waddle away as Oliver with the Lord by executioner. It's a hopeless case, as you may see, and in your place away I flee. But don't blame me, I'm sorry to be of your pleasure a diminutioner. They'll rather packed extremely soon. In point of fact, this afternoon, her honeymoon with Bethlehem at 7 commences, so you should. And the brass will crash and the trumpets play, and she'll part and dash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord by executioner. And the brass will crash and the trumpets play, and the brass will crash on their wedding day. She'll toddle away as Oliver with the Lord by executioner.
And have I journeyed for a month or nearly to learn that Yum Yum, whom I love so dearly, this day to Coco is to be united.
what appears to be as you've recited. But here he comes, equipped, to suit his station. He'll give you any further information.
Ensure a continuance of those favors which it is ever my study to deserve. If ever I should be called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of society offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. There's the pestilential nuisances who write for autographs, all people who have flabby hands and irritating laughs, all children who are up in dates and floor you with them flat, all persons who in shaking hands shake hands with you like that, all the persons who in spoiling tete-a-tetes insist, they'd none of them be missed.
He's got them on the list, he's got them on the list, let none of them be missed, let none of them be missed.
There's the banjo serenader and the others of his kind, the piano organist, I've got him on the list, and the people who smoke cigarettes and puff it in your face. They never would be missed, they never would be missed. Then the idiot who praises every enthusiastic tone of centuries but this, and every country but his own. And the lady from the provinces before her end is nigh, and who doesn't think she's Zumbas, but would rather like to try. And that singular anomaly, Alison Redford, I don't think she'd be missed. I'm sure she won't be missed.
He's got her on the list. He's got her on the list. And I don't think she'll be missed. I'm sure she won't be missed.
And that Justin Bieber nuisance who just now is rather rife, the judicial humorist, I've got him on the list. All funny fellows, comic men, and clowns of private life. They none of them be missed. They none of them be missed. An apologetic statement of a compromising kind, such as Daniel Smith and the Wild Rose changing their mind. And Miley Cyrus twerking, and Katy Perry's Zoom. The task of filling up the blanks I'd rather leave to you. But it really doesn't matter who you put upon the list, for they none of them be missed, they none of them be missed.
You may put them on the list. You may put them on the list. And none of them be missed. And none of them be missed.
It seems that the festivities in connection with my approaching marriage must last a week. I should like to do it handsomely, and I want to consult you as to the amount I ought to spend upon them.
Oh, certainly. In which of my capacities? As First Lord of the Treasurer, Lord Chamberlain, Attorney General, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Privy Purse,
or private secretary.
Suppose we say as private secretary.
Speaking as your private secretary, I should say that as the city will have to pay for it, don't stitch yourself. Do it well.
Exactly. As the city will have to pay for it. That is your advice.
As private secretary. Of course, if you'll understand, as Chancellor of the Exchequer, I am bound to see that due economy is observed.
Oh, but you just said now, don't stint yourself, do it well.
As private secretary.
And now you say that due economy must be observed?
As Chancellor of the Exchequer.
I see. Come over here where the Chancellor can't hear us. Now, as my solicitor, how do you advise me to deal with this difficulty?
Well, as your solicitor, I should have no hesitation of saying Chancellor.
Thank you. I will.
If it were not for the Lord Chief Justice, I am bound to see that the law isn't violated.
Well, I see. Come over here where the Chief Justice can't hear us. Now then, as First Lord of the Treasury.
Oh, of course, First Lord of the Treasury. I could propose a special vote that could cover all expenses. If it were not for the leader of the oppositions, it would be my duty to resist tooth and nail. Or as Paymaster General, I could so cook the accounts that the Lord High Auditor, I should never discover the problem. But then, as Archbishop of Titipu, it would be my duty to denounce my dishonesty and give myself into the custody of First Commissioner of Police.
Well, that's extremely awkward.
I don't say that all these distinguished people could have to be squared, but it is right to tell you that they wouldn't be significantly graded in their own estimation unless they were insulted with a very considerable bribe.
Oh, the matter will have my careful consideration. But my bride and her sisters approach, and any little compliment on your part, such as an abject grovel and characteristic Japanese attitude, would be esteemed a favor.
Nobody's safe, for we care for none. Life is a joke and just begun. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all are very come from Lady Seven Mary. Three from Virginia to Tulare. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. One little maid is a bride young nun. Two little maids in attendance come. Three little maids is the total sum. Three little maids from school. Three little maids take one away. Two little maids remain and they won't have to wait very long, they say. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school. Three little maids who all are very come from Lady Seven Mary. Three from Virginia to Tulare. Three little maids from school. Three little maids from school.
At last, my bride that is to be.
Oh, you're not going to kiss me in front of all these people?
Well, that was the idea.
It seems odd, doesn't it?
It's rather peculiar.
Oh, I expect it's all right. Must have a beginning, you know. Well, of course, I know nothing about these things. But I've no objection, if it's usual.
Oh, it's quite usual. Eh, Lord Chamberlain?
I have known it done.
Thank goodness that's over. Why, it's never you! Oh, it's you! Don't make me! You can do whatever. She was much better. Beautiful. Good. And I'm not going back anymore!
I beg your pardon. Will you present me?
Oh, this is gentlemen to you.
One at a time, please.
Oh, if you please. This is the musician who used to play so beautifully on the Marine Parade. Yes, I think that was the name of the instrument.
Sir, I have the misfortune to love your ward, Yum Yum. Oh, I know I deserve your anger. Let me explain.
Angry? Not a bit, my boy. Why, I love her myself. Charming little girl, isn't she? Pretty eyes, nice hair, yes. Taking little thing altogether. Very glad to hear my opinion backed by a competent authority. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take him away.
I beg your pardon, but what is this? Customer come to try on.
That is a tremendous swell.
Oh, it's alive. Oh.
Go away, little girls. Can't talk to little girls like you. Go away, there's dears.
Allow me to present you, Booba. These are my three wards. The one in the middle there, or off to the side, is Yum Yum, my bride-elect.
What do you want me to do with them? Mind, I will not kiss them.
No. You shan't kiss them. A little bow, a mere nothing. You needn't mean it, you know.
It goes against the grain. They are not young ladies, they are young persons.
Come, make an effort. There's a good nobleman.
Well, I shan't mean it. Howdy do, little girls. Howdy do. Oh, my protoplasmal ancestor.
Oh, that's very good.
I see nothing to laugh at. It is very painful for me to say, howdy do, little girls, howdy do to young persons. I am not in the habit of saying, howdy do, little girls, howdy do, to anybody under the rank of a stockbroker.
Oh, don't laugh at him. He can't help it. He's under treatment for it. Never mind them. They don't understand the delicacy of your position.
We know how delicate it is, don't we?
I think we should. How a nobleman of your importance can do it at all is a thing I never can, never shall understand.
Yum, at last. Oh, I have sought you night and day for 3 weeks in the belief that your guardian was beheaded. And I find that you're about to marry him, be married to him in the morning.
Alas, yes.
But you do not love him.
Alas, no.
Modified rapture! But why do you not refuse him?
What good would it do? He's my guardian, and he wouldn't let me marry you.
But I would wait until you were of age.
You forget that in Japan, girls do not arrive at years of discretion until they are 50.
True.
Besides,
From 17 to 49 are considered years of indiscretion.
besides, a wand'ring minstrel who plays a trombone outside tea houses is hardly a fitting husband for the ward of the Lord High Executioner.
But... shall I tell her? She will not betray me. What if it should prove that I am no musician?
There! I knew it the first I heard you play.
What if it should prove that I am no other than the son of His Majesty the Mikado?
The son of the Mikado? But why is your highness disguised? And what has your highness done? And will your highness promise never to do it again?
Well, some years ago I had the misfortune to captivate Katisha, an elderly lady of my father's court. She mistook my customary affability into expressions of affection and claimed me in marriage under my father's law. My father, the Lucius Junius Brutus of his race, ordered me to marry her within a week or perish ignominiously on the scaffold. That night I fled, and assuming the disguise of a second trombone, I joined the band in which you found me when I had the happiness of seeing you.
Oh, if you please. I think your highness had better not stand too near. The laws against flirting are excessively severe.
But we are quite alone.
Still, that doesn't make it right. To flirt is capital.
It is capital.
And we must obey the law.
Deuce take the law!
Oh, I wish it would, but it won't.
If it were not for that, how happy we might be.
Happy indeed.
If it were not for the law, we should be now sitting side by side, like this.
Instead of being obliged to sit half a mile off. Like that.
We should be gazing into each other's eyes, like this.
Breathing sighs of unutterable love. Like that.
With our arms around each other's waists, like that.
Yes. If it wasn't for the law.
If it wasn't for the law.
As it is, we of course couldn't do anything of the sort.
Not for the world.
Being engaged to Coco, you know.
Being engaged to Coco. Were you not to Coco plighted, I would say in tender tone, loved one, let us be united, let us be each other's own. I would merge on rank and station, wordly make it clear to you. This is what I'll never do. This is what I'll never do. This is what I'll never do. I'll never do. This.
Is what he'll never
There she goes. To think how entirely my future happiness is wrapped up in that little parcel. Really, it hardly seems worthwhile. Oh, matrimony. Now then, what is it? Can't you see I'm soliloquizing? You've interrupted an apostrophe, sir.
I am the bearer of a message from the Mikado.
A letter from the Mikado? What in the world could he want with me? Oh, here it is at last. I thought it would come sooner or later. The Mikado is struck by the fact that no executions have taken place in Titipu for a year, and decrees that unless somebody is beheaded within 1 month, the post of Lord High Executioner shall be abolished, and the city reduced to the rank of a village. Oh.
But that will involve us all in irretrievable ruin.
Yes, there is no help for it. I shall have to execute somebody at once. The only question is, who shall it be?
Well, it seems unkind to say so, but you're already under sentence for death for flirting. Everything seems to point to you.
To me? What are you talking about? I can't kill myself.
Why not?
Well, why not? Because in the first place, self-decapitation is an extremely difficult, not to say dangerous thing to attempt. And in the second, it's suicide, and suicide is a capital offense.
That is so, no doubt.
We might reserve that point.
True. It could be argued 6 months hence, before the full court.
Besides, I don't see how a man could cut off his own head.
A man might try.
Even if you only succeed in cutting it half off, that would be something.
It'd be taken as an earnest of your desire to comply with the imperial will.
No. Pardon me, but there I am adamant. As official headsman, my reputation is at stake. I can't consent to embark on a professional operation unless I can see my way to a successful result.
This professional conscientiousness is highly creditable to you, but it places us in a very awkward position.
My good sir, the awkwardness of your position is grace itself in comparison with that of a man engaged in the act of cutting off his own head.
I'm afraid that unless you can obtain a substitute.
A substitute? Oh, certainly. Nothing easier. Pooh-Bah, I appoint you Lord High Substitute.
Oh, I should be delighted. Such an appointment would realize my fondest dreams. But no, at any sacrifice, I must set bounds to my insatiable ambition. I am so proud, if I allowed my family pride to be my guide, I'd volunteer to quit this sphere instead of you in a minute or two. But family pride must be denied and set aside and mortified and mortified.
My brain it teems with endless schemes, both good and new, for titty-poo, but if I flit the benefit that I diffuse, the town would lose. Now every man should
true to bid us adieu.
I am so proud.
My brain it teems, my hands
clap
clasp
of
the
singing
same
pride.
but if I quit our and as I can reach the tower of hills, so very glad to hate his hands, good and bad as best he can. And so, although I'm ready to go, that recollect or disrespect, but I neglect to thus effect thy aim direct, so I object.
And so, although I wish to go, and greatly climb to brightly shine, and take the line of a hero, but with grave condign, I must decline.
And go, noble friend and foe, how much you dare, I'm quite aware. It's your affair, yet I declare, I take your ship, but I don't much care.
Simply in order to benefit my native town, am now required to die within a month, and that by a man whom I've loaded with honors. Is this public gratitude? How dare you? Am I never permitted to soliloquize?
Oh, go on, don't mind me.
What are you going to do with that rope?
I'm about to terminate an unbearable existence.
Terminate your existence? Oh, nonsense. What for?
Because you are going to marry the girl I love.
Nonsense, sir. I won't permit it. I am a humane man, and if you attempt anything of the kind, I shall order your instant arrest. Come, sir. Desist at once, or I order my guard.
But that's absurd. If you attempt to raise an alarm, I instantly perform the happy dispatch with this dagger.
No, don't do that. This is simply horrible. Why, you cold-blooded scoundrel, are you aware that in taking your life you are committing a crime which is substitute?
What's the matter?
Is it absolutely certain that you are resolved to die?
Absolutely.
Will nothing shake your resolution?
Nothing.
Threats, entreaties, prayers, all useless?
I've made up my mind.
Then if you really mean what you say, and if you are absolutely resolved to die, and if nothing whatever will shake your determination, don't spoil yourself by committing suicide, but be beheaded handsomely at the hands of the public executioner.
I don't see how that would benefit me.
You don't? Observe. You'll have a month to live, and you'll live like a fighting cock at my expense. And when the day comes, there'll be a grand public ceremonial. You'll be the central figure. No one will attempt to deprive you of that. There'll be a procession, bands, dead march, bells tolling, all the girls in tears, young, distracted. Then, when it's over, general rejoicings and a display of fireworks in the evening. You won't be there, but they'll be there all the same.
Do you think Yum would be really distracted at my death?
Oh, I'm convinced of it. Bless you, she's the most tender-hearted little creature alive.
I should be sorry to cause her pain. Perhaps, after all, if I were to withdraw from Japan and travel in Europe for a couple of years, I might contrive to forget her.
Oh, I don't think you could ever forget Yum Yum so easily. And, after all, what is more miserable than a love-blighted life?
True.
Life without Yum Yum, why, it seems absurd.
And yet, there are so many good people in the world who have to endure it.
Yes, poor devils, yes. You are quite right not to be of their number.
I won't be of their number.
Noble fellow.
I'll tell you how we'll manage it. Let me marry Yum Yum tomorrow, and in a month you may be happy.
No, I draw the line at Yum Yum.
Very good. If you can draw the line, so can I.
Stop. Listen one moment. Be reasonable. How can I consent to your marrying Yum Yum if I'm going to marry her myself?
My good friend, she'll be a widow in a month, and you can marry her then.
Well, that's true, of course. I quite see that, but dear me, my position during the next month will be most unpleasant. Most unpleasant.
Not half so unpleasant as my position at the end of it.
But, dear me, well, all right, I agree. After all, it's only putting off my wedding for a month. But you won't prejudice her against me. You see, I've educated her to be my wife. She's been taught to regard me as a wise and good man. Now, I shouldn't like her views on that point disturbed.
Trust me, she shall never learn the truth from you.
Congratulate me, gentlemen, I found a volunteer.
The gentleman is equivalent to here.
'Tis an Yankee I think he'll do.
Yes, he'll do.
He yields his life if I'll Yum surrender. Now I adore that girl with passion tender, and could not yield her with the ready will of her Allot, if I did not adore my
long life to you, long life to you, long life to you, till then.
Your rebel cease, assist me, all you. My resist to evil, my safeties. I claim my perjured lover, Nanki-Poo. Oh, fool to shun delights that never cloy. Come back, oh shallow fool, come back to joy. Away, you think of fun.
Ah, this Katisha, the maid of whom I told you.
No, you shall not go. These arms shall thus enfold you. Oh, fool that fleest my hallowed joys, oh, mind that seest no equipoise. Oh, rash that judges have behold. Oh, beast that grudges lightest gold. Thy heart, oh fool, oh blind, give me thy place, oh rash, oh base. Thy heart unbind, give me thy place, oh fool, oh blind, oh rash, oh base. Thy heart unbind, give me my place. If she's thy bride, restore her place, oh fool, oh blind, oh rash, oh base. Pink cheek, that rulest where wisdom serves, right eye that rulest, hello with nerve. Rose lip that scorns forehead and ears, smooth tongue that runnest with right ears. Thy tongue is one pink cheek, bright eye. Thy rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy knell is rung. Pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue. Thy doom is nigh, thy knell is rung. If through thy tail thy knell is rung, pink cheek, bright eye, rose lip, smooth tongue. If through thy tail thy knell is rung, if through thy tail thy knell is Japanese way, why it is that I am so much more beautiful than everyone else in the whole world. Can this be vanity? No. Nature is lovely and rejoices in its loveliness. I am a child of nature and take after my mother. The sun whose rays are all ablaze with ever-living glory does not deny his majesty. He scorns to tell a story. He won't exclaim, I blush for shame, so kindly be indulgent. But fierce and bold in fiery court, he glories all effulgent. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really knoweth the sun and I. I mean to rule the earth as he the sky. We really knoweth the sun and Observe his flame, that placid dame, the moon's celestial highness. There's not a trace upon her face of diffidence or shyness. She burrows like the through the night, but kindly all acclaim her. And truth to tell, she lights up well, so I for one don't blame her. Oh, pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, the moon and I. Oh, pray make no mistake, we are not shy. We're very wide awake, the moon and Yes, everything seems to smile upon me. I am to be married today to the man I love best, and I believe I am the very happiest girl in all of Japan.
The happiest girl indeed, for she is indeed to be envied who has attained happiness in all but perfection.
All but perfection?
Well, dear, it can't be denied that the fact your husband is to be beheaded in a month is, in its way, a drawback. It does seem to take the top off it, you know.
Oh, I don't know about that. It all depends.
Well, he will find it a drawback.
Not necessarily. Bless you, it all depends. I think it very indelicate of you to refer to such a subject on such a day. If my married happiness is to be
Cut short?
well, cut short in a month. Can't you let me forget it?
Oh, Yum in tears, and on her wedding morn.
They've been reminding me that in a month you're to be beheaded. We've been reminding her you're to be beheaded.
It's quite true. You're to be beheaded.
Ah. Now some bridegrooms would be depressed by this sort of thing. A month? Well, what's a month? These divisions of time are purely arbitrary. Who says 24 hours make a day?
There's a popular impression to that effect.
Well, then we'll face it. We'll call each second a minute, each minute an hour, each hour a day, and each day a year. At that rate, we have 30 years of married happiness madness ahead of us.
And at that rate, this interview has lasted 4 hours and 3/4.
Yes, how time flies when one is thoroughly enjoying oneself.
That's the way to look at it. Don't let's be downhearted. There's a silver lining to every cloud.
Certainly. Let's be perfectly happy.
By all means, let's thoroughly enjoy ourselves.
It's absurd to cry. Quite ridiculous.
Brightly dawns our wedding day.
Joyous are we, give thee greeting. With her art thou fleeting. Fickle moment, prithee stay. Fickle moment, prithee stay.
What thou mortal joys be hollow,
Pleasures come if sorrows follow.
Through the tossing sombrero. Ding dong, ding dong, yet until the shadows fall over one and over all.
Sing a merry madrigal.
Sing a merry madrigal. La 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 la
Let us dry the ready tear.
Heroes are surely creeping, little meet for woeful weeping, till the sad sundown is near, till the sad sundown is near.
come sip the cup of sorrow.
I today and thou tomorrow.
Is the close of every song. Is the close of every song. Ding dong, ding dong. What though solemn shadows fall, sooner or later over all.
Sing a merry madrigal.
Sing a merry madrigal. Sing a merry madrigal. La 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 la
Go on. Don't mind me.
I'm afraid we are distressing you.
Oh, never mind. I must get used to it. Only, please do it by degrees. Begin by putting your arm around her waist. me get used to that.
Oh, wouldn't you like to retire? It must pain you to see us so affectionate together.
No, I must learn to bear it. Now, oblige me by allowing her head to rest on your shoulder. I'm much obliged to you. Now, kiss her. Thank you. It's simple torture.
Come, bear up. After all, it's only for a month.
No, it's no use deluding oneself with false hopes.
What
do you mean?
My child, my poor child. How shall I break it to her? My little bride that was to have been.
Was to have been?
Yes, you never can be mine.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Well, I've just ascertained that by the Mikado's law, when a married man is beheaded, his wife is buried alive.
Buried alive?
Buried alive. It's a most unpleasant death.
But who did you get that from?
Oh, from Pooh-Bah. He's my solicitor.
But he must be mistaken.
So I thought. So I consulted the Attorney General, the Lord Chief Justice, the Master of the Laws, the Judge Ordinary, and the Lord Chancellor. They're all of the same opinion. I never knew such unanimity on a point of law in my life.
But stop it. This law has never been put in force.
Well, not yet. You see, flirting is the only crime punishable with decapitation, and married men never flirt.
Of course they don't. I quite forgot that. Well, I suppose I may take it that my dream of happiness is at an end.
Darling, I don't wish to appear selfish, and I love you with all my heart. I don't think I shall ever love anyone half as much. But when I agreed to marry you, my love, I had no idea, pet, that I should have to be buried alive in a month.
No! It's the first I've heard of it, too.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it does make a difference.
You see, buried alive, it's such a stuffy death.
Oh, I call it a beast of a death.
You see my difficulty, don't you?
And I see my own. If I insist on carrying out your promise, I doom you to a hideous death. If I release you, you marry Coco at once.
Here's a howdy-do, if I marry you. When your time has come to perish, then the maiden whom you cherish must be slaughtered too. Here's a howdy-do, here's a howdy-do.
Here's a pretty mess, in a month or less. I must die without a wedding, let the bitter tears I'm shedding witness my distress. Here's a pretty mess, here's a pretty mess.
Here's the state of things, to her life she clings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit her notion, burial it brings. Here's the state of things, here's the state of things. With no passion, no intention, wishing and ardor, but the laws of common sense we ought to ignore.
If what he says is true, 'tis death to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things, here's a pretty howdy-do. Here's a pretty state of things, a pretty state of things.
Here's a howdy-do,
Here's how we do.
For if what he says is true, I cannot marry you. Here's a pretty, pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
My poor boy, I'm really very sorry for you.
Thanks, old fella. I'm sure you are.
You see, I'm quite helpless.
I quite see that.
I can't conceive anything more distressing than to have one's marriage broken off at the last moment. But you shan't be disappointed of a wedding. You shall come to mine.
It's awfully kind of you, but that's impossible.
Well, why so?
Today I die.
Well, what do you mean?
I can't live without Yum Yum. This afternoon I performed a happy dispatch.
Oh, no, pardon me, but I can't allow that.
Why not?
Well, why? Hang it all. You're under contract to die at the hand of the public executioner. In a month's time, if you kill yourself, what's to become of me? Why, I shall have to be executed in your place.
Oh, it certainly seems so.
Now then, Lord Mayor, what is it?
The Mikado and his suite are approaching the city and will be here in 10 minutes.
The Mikado? He's coming to see whether his orders have been carried out. Now look here, you know this is getting serious. A bargain is a bargain. And you really mustn't frustrate the ends of justice by committing suicide. As a man of honor and a gentleman, you are bound to die ignominiously at the hands of the public executioner.
Very well then, behead me.
What? Now?
Certainly, at once.
Chop it off! Chop it off!
My good sir, I don't go about prepared to execute a gentleman at a moment's notice. Why, I've never even killed a mosquito.
Still, as the Lord High Executioner.
My good sir, as Lord High Executioner, I've got to behead him in a month. I'm not ready yet. I don't know how it's done. I'm going to take lessons. I mean to begin with the guinea pig and work my way up through the animal kingdom to a second trombone. Why, you don't suppose that as a humane man, I'd have to accept the post of Lord High Executioner if I hadn't thought that the duties were purely nominal. I can't kill you. I can't kill anything. I can't kill anybody.
Come on, my poor fellow. We all have unpleasant duties to discharge at times. After all, what is it? If I don't mind, why should you? Remember, sooner or later it must be done.
Must it? I'm not so sure about that.
What do you mean?
Well, why should I kill you when making an affidavit that you've been executed will do just as well? Here are plenty of witnesses, the Lord Chief Justice, the Lord High Admiral, Commander-in-Chief, Secretary of State for the Home Department, First Lord of Treasury, and Chief Commissioner of Police.
Where are they?
Well, there they are. They'll all swear to it, won't you?
Am I to understand that all of us high officers of state are required to perjure ourselves to ensure your safety?
Well, why not? You'll be grossly insulted as usual.
Will the insult be cashed down or at a date?
It'll be a credit card. Where do I swipe?
Well, it'll be useful discipline. Very good. Choose your fiction and I'll endorse it. Family pride. How do you like that, my buck?
Oh, Yum Yum. Yum Yum, bother Yum Yum. Commissioner, go and fetch Yum Yum. Now, take Yum Yum and marry Yum Yum, only go away and never come back again. Here she is. Yum Yum, are you particularly busy?
Not particularly.
You've 5 minutes to spare.
Yes.
Then go along with his Archbishop of Titty-Poo. He'll marry you at once.
But if I'm to be buried alive...
Oh, now don't ask any questions, but do as I tell you, and Nanky-Poo will explain all.
But one moment.
Not for words! Here comes the Mikado. No doubt to ascertain whether I've obeyed his decree, and if he finds you alive, I shall have the greatest difficulty in persuading him that I've behaved. Now, go away. Close thing, for here he comes.
of Japan.
And I'm his daughter-in-law elect. He'll marry his son, he's only got one, to his daughter-in-law elect.
My morals have been declared particularly correct.
But they're nothing at all compared with those of his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
In a fatherly kind of way, I govern each tribe and sect, all cheerfully own my sway.
Except his daughter-in-law elect, as tough as a bone with a will of his own, is his daughter-in-law elect.
My nature is love and light, my freedom from all defect.
Is insignificant quite compared to his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect. Bow, bow to his daughter-in-law elect.
A more humane Mikado never did in Japan exist. To nobody's second, I'm certainly reckoned a true philanthropist. It is my very humane endeavor to make, to some extent, each evil liver a running river of harmless merriment. My object on sublime, it is the deeper crime. Let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment. All prosy, dull society sinners who chatter and bleat and bore are sent to hear sermons from mystical Jones who preach from 10 till 4. The amateur tenor whose vocal villainies all desire to shirk shall during off hours exhibit his powers to madam Tussauds waxwork. The lady who dyes a chemical yellow or stains her grey hair loose or pinches her figure is painted with vigour and permanent blackberry juice. The hooligan who in railway carriages smashes up window panes will see how he suffers when lashed to the buffers of light rapid transit trains. My object on sublime, I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime, and make each prisoner pent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time, to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime. And make his prisoner bent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
The internet quack who advertises with tales of countless cures, his teeth I've enacted shall all be extracted by terrified amateurs. The punk rock singer attends a series of masses and fugues and ops by barking to Woden with Brahms and Beethoven at Edmonton Symphony Pops. His doom's extremely hard. He's made to dwell in the dungeon cell on a spot that's always barred. And there he plays extravagant matches with fritless finger stalls on a cloth untrue with a twisted cue and elliptical billiard ball. My object sublime I shall achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime. And when each prisoner bent unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
His object all sublime, he will achieve in time to let the punishment fit the crime, the punishment fit the crime. And when he is the bent, unwillingly represent a source of innocent merriment, of innocent merriment.
I'm honored in being permitted to welcome your majesty. I guess the object of your majesty's visit, your wishes have been attended to. The execution has taken place.
Oh, you've had an execution, have you?
Yes, the coroner just handed me this certificate.
I am the coroner.
And this is the certificate of his death. At Titipu, in the presence of the Lord Chancellor, the Lord Chief Justice, Attorney General, Secretary of State for the Home Department, Lord Mayor, and groom of the second floor front.
They were all present, Your Majesty. I counted them myself.
A very good house. I wished I'd been in time for the performance.
A tough fellow he was, too. A man of gigantic strength. His struggles were terrific. It really was a remarkable scene.
Describe it.
The criminal cried as he dropped him down in a state of wild alarm. With a frightful, frantic, fearful frown, I bared my big, bright arm. I seized him by his little pigtail, and on his knees fell he. As he squirmed and struggled and gurgled and struggled, I drew my snickersen near. My snickersen near. Oh, never shall I forget the cry or the shriek that shrieked he. As I gnashed my teeth from its sheath, I drew my Snickers near.
We know him well, he cannot tell untrue or broken tales. He always tries to optimize and every time he fails.
He shivered and shook as he gave the sign for the stroke he didn't deserve. When all of a sudden his eye met mine, and it seemed to brace his nerve. So he nodded his head and kissed his hand and whistled uneasily. And from his servant when a man's afraid, a beautiful maid is a cheering sight to see. And it's so unglad that moment sadness soothed by sight of me.
You cannot say the truth is lies of these. Her taste is that, or what is that, amounts to the disease.
Now, though you have said his head was dead and our dead was he, it stood on its neck with a smile well bred and bowed 3 times to me. It was none of the impudent offhand nods, but a humble as could be. For he clearly knew the difference due to a man of pedigree. And oh, I found this deadly law was a grudging sight to see. Though troublous yet, it couldn't forget the devil its
should have seen it. But we came about a totally different matter. A year ago, my son, the heir to the throne of Japan, bolted from our imperial court.
Indeed. Had he any reason to be dissatisfied with his position?
None whatsoever. On the contrary, I was going to marry him, yet he fled.
I'm surprised that he should have fled from someone so lovely.
That's not true.
No?
You hold that I am not beautiful because my face is plain, but you know nothing. You are still unenlightened. Learn, then, that it is not in the face alone that beauty is to be sought. My face is unattractive.
It is.
But I have a left shoulder blade that is a miracle of loveliness. People come for miles to see it. And my right elbow has a fascination that few can resist.
Allow me.
It is on view Tuesdays and Fridays. On presentations, a visiting card. As for my circulation, it is the largest in the world.
And yet he fled.
And is now masquerading in this town, disguised as a second trombone.
A second trombone?
Yes. Would it be troubling you too much for me to ask you to produce him? He goes by the name of
Nanky Poo.
Nanky Poo.
It's quite easy. That is, it's rather difficult. In point of fact, he's gone abroad.
Gone abroad? His address?
Moose Jaw.
See here, his name, Nanky Poo, beheaded this morning. Oh, where shall I find another? Where shall I find another?
Dear, this is very tiresome. My poor fellow, in your anxiety to carry out my wishes, it appears you have beheaded the heir to the throne of Japan.
I beg to offer an unqualified apology.
I desire to associate myself with the expression of regret.
We really hadn't the least notion.
No, of course you hadn't. I mean, how could you? Come, my good fellow, don't distress yourself. It was no fault of yours. If a man of exalted rank chooses to disguise himself as a second trombone, well, I've no doubt he must take the consequences. It really distresses me to see you take on so. I've no doubt he thoroughly deserved what he got.
We are infinitely obliged, Your Majesty.
Much obliged, Your Majesty.
Very much obliged, Your Majesty.
Much obliged, of course. Not a bit, don't mention it. How could you tell?
No, of course we couldn't tell who the gentleman really was.
It wasn't written on his forehead, you know.
Oh, it might have been written on his pocket handkerchief, but Japanese don't wear pocket handkerchiefs.
I forget the punishment for compassing the death of the heir apparent.
Punishment?
Yes, something lingering. With boiling oil in it, I fancy. Something of that sort. I think boiling oil occurs in it, but I'm not sure. I know it's something humorous, but lingering. With either boiling oil or melted lead in it. Oh, come, don't fret. I'm not a bit angry.
If Your Majesty will accept our assurance, we had no idea.
Of course.
I knew nothing about it.
I wasn't there.
That's the pathetic part about it. Unfortunately, the fool of an act says, compassing the death of the heir apparent. There's not a word about mistake.
No.
Or not knowing.
No.
Or having no notion.
No.
Or not being there.
No.
There should be, of course.
Yes.
But there isn't.
Oh.
That's the slovenly way in which these acts are drawn. However, cheer up. It'll be all right. I'll have it altered next session. Now, about your execution, will after luncheon suit you? Can you wait until then?
Oh, yes. We can wait till then.
Then we'll make it after luncheon.
I don't want any lunch.
I'm really very sorry for you all, but it's an unjust world, and virtue is triumphant only in theatrical performances. See how the fates their gifts allot, for A is happy, B is not, yet B is worthy, I dare say, of more prosperity than A.
Is B more worthy?
I should say he's worth a great deal more than A.
Yet A is happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, chopping, ha ha, nectar quaffing, ha ha ha, ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving A, ever joyous, ever gay, happy, undeserving A. If I were fortune, which I'm not, B should enjoy A's happy lot, and A should die in misery. That is assuming I am B. But should A perish, that should be, of course, assuming I am B. B should be happy, oh so happy, laughing, ha ha, chuffing, ha ha, nectar quaffing, ha ha ha, but condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious B. But condemned to die is he, wretched meritorious B. Well, a nice mess you got us into, with your nodding head and the deference due to a man of pedigree.
Merely prerogative detail, intended to give artistic verisimilitude to an otherwise bald and unconvincing narrative.
Corroborative detail indeed. Corroborative fiddlestick.
And you're just as bad with your cock and bull stories about catching his eye and whistling in air. Ah, but that's just like you. Always have to put you in your awe.
What about your big right arm?
Ah, yes, and your schnicker schnie.
Well, never mind that now. There's only one thing to be done. Nanki-Poo hasn't started yet. He must come back to life at once. Oh, here he comes. Here, Nanki-Poo, I've got good news for you. You're reprieved.
But it's too late. I'm a dead man, and I'm off for my honeymoon.
Nonsense! A terrible thing has happened. Your father is here, and with... It seems you're the son of the Mikado.
Yes, but that happened some time ago.
Oh, is this time for airy persiflage? Your father is here, and with Katisha.
My father? And with Katisha?
Yes, and he wants you particularly.
So does she.
But he's married now.
Oh, but bless my heart, what has that got to do with it?
Well, Katisha claims me in marriage, but I can't marry her because I'm married already. Consequently, she will insist on my execution, and if I'm executed, my wife will have to be buried alive.
You see our difficulty.
Yes, I don't know what's to be done.
There's one chance for you. If you could persuade Katisha to marry you, she would have no further claim on me. And in that case, I could come to life without the fear of being put to death.
I marry Katisha?
I really think it's the only course.
But my good girl, have you seen her? She's something appalling.
Oh, but that's only her face. She has a left elbow that people come miles to see.
And I'm told that her right heel is admired by connoisseurs.
My good sir, I decline to pin my heart on any lady's right heel.
It comes to this. While Katisha is single, I prefer to be a disembodied spirit. When Katisha is married, existence will be as welcome as flowers in spring. The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, breathe promise of merry sunshine. As we merrily dance and we sing, tra-la, we welcome the hope that they bring, tra-la, the summer and roses and wine, oh, the summer and roses and wine. And that's what we mean when we say that the thing is welcome as flowers that bloom in the spring. La 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 la, la 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 la, flowers that bloom in the spring. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
The flowers that bloom in the spring, tra-la, have nothing to do with the case. I've got to take under my wing, tra-la, a most unattractive old thing, tra-la, with a caricature of a face, with a caricature of a face. And that's what I mean when I say or I sing, oh, bother the flowers that bloom in the spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, oh, bother the flowers of spring. Tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la, tra-la-la-la-la.
My soul is still my body's prisoner. Remote the peace that death alone can give. My doom to wait. My punishment to live. Hearts do not break. They sting and ache, for all not seek but do not die. Though with each breath they long for death, as witnesseth the living eye, the living eye. Oh, living eye, come tell me why, when hope is gone, dost thou stay on? Why linger here when all is real? Living eye, come tell me Katisha, the miscreant who robbed me of my love. But vengeance pursues. They are heating the cauldron.
Katisha, behold the suppliant at your feet. Mercy.
Mercy? Have you mercy on him? See you here. You have slain my love. He did not love me, but he would have loved me in time. I am an acquired taste. Only the educated palate can appreciate moi. I was educating his palate when he left me. Well, he is dead, and where shall I find another? It takes years to train a man to love me. Am I to go through the weary round again and, at the same time, implore mercy for you, who robbed me of my prey? I mean my pupil. Just as his education was on the point of completion. Where shall I find another?
Here!
What?
Gatasha, for years I have loved you with a right hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming my very vitals. Oh, shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, shrink not away from a lovesick suppliant whose every fibre thrills at your tiny touch. True, it is under a poor mask of disgust. I have endeavored to conceal a passion whose inner fires are broiling the soul within me. But the fires will not be smothered. It defies all attempts at extinction and breaking forth. All the more eagerly for its long restraint, it declares itself in words that cannot be weighed, that cannot be schooled, that should not be too severely criticized. Gatasha, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it, darling.
You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare to address me and address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged.
I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot.
Go to. Who knows so well as I that no one ever yet died of a broken heart?
You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little tomtit sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Dicky bird, why do you sit singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, he replied, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and sighed, and a gurgle he gave, and he plunged himself into the billowy wave, and an echo arose from the suicide's grave. How willow, tit willow, now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit willow, tit willow. That was blighted affection that made him exclaim, oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. And if you remain callous and obdurate, I shall perish as he did, and you will know why, though I probably will not exclaim as I die. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. true. I knew the bird intimately.
Did you? He must have been very fond of her.
His devotion was something extraordinary.
Oh, and if I refuse you, will you go and do the same?
At once!
No, you mustn't. Anything but that. Oh, I'm a silly little goose.
You are.
And you won't hate me because I'm just a little teeny weeny bit bloodthirsty, will you?
Oh, hate you? Katusha, is there not beauty even in bloodthirstiness?
My idea exactly. There is beauty in the bellow of the blast. There is grandeur in the growling of the gale. There is eloquent abhorring when the lion is a-roaring and the tiger is a-lashing of his tail.
Yes, I like to see a tiger from the Congo or the Niger, and especially when lashing of his tail.
The volcanoes have a splendor that is grim, and earthquakes only terrify the don'ts. But to him who's scientific, there is nothing that's terrific in the falling of a flight of thunderbolts.
Yes, in spite of all my meanness, if I have a little weakness, it's a passion for a flight of thunderbolts. If that is so, sing Jerry down, Jerry, it's evident where your tastes are fun. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no timely, tentative, take this done. There is beauty in the dream old age. Do you think you are elderly enough? Information I'm requesting on a subject interesting as a maiden on the bed when she's tough.
Throughout my dominion is the general opinion that she'll last a good deal longer when she's tough.
Oh! Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait till you're 80 in the shade? There's a fascination granted in a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed?
To the matter that you mention, I have given some attention, and I think I am sufficiently decayed. If that is so, sing Jerry down, Jerry, it's evident where your tastes are fun. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no timely, tentative, make this done. If that is so, sing Jerry down, Jerry, it's evident where your tastes are fun. Away we'll go, and merrily, merry, no timely, tentative, make this done. Sing Jerry down, Jerry, it's evident where your timely, tentative, take this done.
Now then, we've had a capital lunch and we're quite ready. Have all the painful preparations been made?
Your Majesty, all is prepared.
Then produce the unfortunate gentleman and his two well-meaning but misguided accomplices.
Mercy, mercy for Coco, mercy for Pity Sing, mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
I beg your pardon, I don't think I caught that remark.
Mercy even for Pooh-Bah.
My husband that was to have been is dead, and I have just married this miserable object.
Oh, you haven't been long about it.
We were married before the registrar.
I'm the registrar.
I see. But my difficulty is that as you have slain the heir apparent,
The heir apparent is not slain.
bless me, my son.
And your daughter-in-law elected.
Traitor! You have deceived me!
Yes, you are entitled to an explanation, but I think you will give it better whole than in pieces.
Your Majesty, it's like this. It's true that I stated that I had killed Nanky Poo.
Well, yes, with most affecting particulars.
Merely corroborative detail, intended to give artistic verisimilitude in a broad and...
Will you refrain from putting in your oar? It's like this. When your Majesty says, let a thing be done, it's as good as done. Practically, it is done. Because your Majesty's will is law. If your Majesty says, kill a gentleman, and a gentleman is told off to be killed, consequently, that gentleman is good as dead. Practically, he is dead. And if he is dead, why not say so?
I see. Nothing could possibly be more satisfactory.